Hello, it's Matt Miller here from Miller Tone. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you a couple of ways that you can replace a simpler instrument grouped to an instrument rack, and do it in a way that allows you to retain the macro assignments. This can be a real time saver for quickly building drum kits or a group of instrument presets requiring consistent macro control. The basic concept is simple. Dropping a new simpler instrument onto either the title bar or the sample display of an existing simpler instrument will update the simpler instrument with the new sounds, yet preserve the macro assignments. However, you'll get a different result depending on which one of the two places you drop the new simpler instrument. Dropping the new simpler instrument over the title bar will preserve the macro assignments, but the entire simpler instrument will be replaced, with the parameter settings of the new simpler instrument overriding the settings of the existing one. By contrast, if I drop the new simpler instrument over the sample display, I'll only be replacing the samples and their associated mappings. Let me show you what I mean. I already have a drum rack loaded onto a MIDI track, with a bass drum assigned to pad C1. Here you can see the instrument rack with the macro controls. Let's open it up so we can see what's going on under the hood. The green dots indicate which parameters are assigned to macros. Now let's have a look at the sample display. Notice that instead of displaying a waveform, it says multi-sample mode. That's because this simpler instrument started its life as a sampler instrument, so that I could key map 8 multi-velocity sample zones along with a few additional parameter settings that can only be accessed from within sampler. You should also take note that the low-cut macro is controlling Simpler's cutoff frequency, which is set to a 24 dB high-pass filter. I want these settings, along with any of the settings that were made from within sampler, to remain consistent for all of the drum sounds in this kit. So I'll need to choose the sample display area to drop the new simpler instrument. To demonstrate, I'm going to copy the bass drum on C1 over to the next pad, C#1, and replace the bass drum with a simpler instrument mapped with rim shot samples. I already have the simpler instrument I want to use selected here in the library, which I will now drag and drop over the sample display area. You can hear the new samples and that they're mapped by velocity. You can also see that the macro assignments are all there, and the filter type is still set to the 24 dB high-pass filter. Perfect. Now, if instead of dropping the new instrument over the sample display, I drop it over the title bar, the macro assignments will remain, but the settings of the existing simpler instrument will be overwritten with the settings of the new one. You can see that the macro assignments are still there, which is great, but the filter type has changed to a 12 dB low-pass filter. Not what I want for these particular instruments. So I'm going to undo this, revert back to the previous settings, and carry on building my kit. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. There's a link to more information in the description below, and feel free to leave any questions or comments. There are more tutorials to come, so subscribe to this channel if you want to learn more about Ableton Live. Thanks for watching.